Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Brianna and this is another daily energy report where I use a combination of astrology and tarot to break down the energies of the day, check for potential challenges and liabilities, and channel advice on how we can best navigate the energy as a collective. Within these energy reports, we're co-creating with spirit, or we're learning to co-create with spirit by using the moon cycles to identify and alleviate those hidden internal energies that can challenge and distort our manifestations. Today's energy sets the tone for the rest of the week and as we move into the weekend. So let's get into it. Let's dissect it and see if we can find the path of least resistance into the future. Today is Friday, October 3rd, 2025. Happy Friday, everyone. We have the moon in Aquarius and the sun in Libra. So we're going to dissect the energies of the sun and the moon and cover some other significant aspects as well. The energy feels big, you guys, so I'm gonna try to take it slow just to make sure that I'm not stumbling all over myself. So just bear with me, you guys. I feel like there's a huge window of opportunity opening up in this energy. The energy feels potent, and I feel like it's going to continue to expand as we move through it into the weekend and closer to the full moon. We're at a trigger point, you guys, or a destiny activation point, and I'm going to talk a lot more about that in detail as we get further into the report. But we have big cosmic energies to work with this weekend, you guys, and I feel like if we can harness and channel these energies in a positive direction, it will create revolutionary change, right? Or there will be a result produced, right? A manifestation of this energy. We've got a full moon in Aries on Friday, you guys. A full moon is the completion of a moon cycle. If you're using the moon to co-create, then the full moon is going to be the culmination point of your manifestation cycle. It's where everything comes full circle. You're at a finish line here. So this is where you receive the visible, tangible, and integrated results of your efforts. And it may not be the big thing, right? It may not be your manifestation in its fullest form, but that's why we work with the moon, right? Each moon cycle is a step up the ladder. It's another step closer to the big thing. So we work with the moon cycles to align and ascend. Align and ascend. It's like we're spiraling, but instead of spiraling down like descension, or instead of like spiraling in a circle, just staying stagnant, we're spiraling in an upward motion, right? We're climbing the ladder, we're ascending through the moon cycles one step at a time, or one cycle at a time, right? So the results and rewards that come in at a full moon are the energies, the wisdom, the experience, like the tools and the resources that you collected from the previous cycle. So these are tools and resources and energies that you get to take with you into your next manifestation cycle, which is the new moon, right? Another opportunity to ascend and level up. So full moon in Aries, right? Let's talk about Aries just briefly. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Aries initiates the new. Aries goes first. Aries is the one who kicks off the new cycle. Aries comes in hot as well. Aries is fire energy, but Aries is the youngest, right? So it's like new fire. It's like fresh energy, pure energy. I'm getting like purified fire, like new life force energy. New life, birth, push. Oh, like push when you're in the delivery room. That's Aries energy. It's that push, right? So this full moon in Aries feels like breakthrough energy. It's that big push that we need to break through into the other side. But because it's a moon, right, and the moon rules our internal realm, this push is going to be coming from within. This could be like, maybe you're at a crossroads, maybe you're teetering or just trying to decide whether you should, Aries, start something new, initiate something new, but maybe you're being held back by those moon energies, feelings of insecurity, insufficiency, lack, or even fear, right? So I feel like the full moon in Aries is going to be giving you that energy, that life force energy, that fire, that drive, that willpower to just do it, right? Push yourself through whatever those limitations are into a new experience, into a new realm, into a new dimension of conscious existence. This could even be, and I'm feeling like it is, it's like a new expression of ourselves, or a new expression of yourself, an aspect of you that hasn't been experienced either by yourself or the world, right? Because we've been working on it. We've been purifying this aspect, this expression of ourselves. We've been getting it ready. We've been training it, strengthening it so that we can Aries, show it to the world or lead with it, right? So this could be a breakthrough of the spirit, right? A spiritual breakthrough, or like a breakthrough of a new expression of you. The birth of a more purified frequency is what I'm getting, because we slowed down to clean up our energy in the last reading in preparation for this. So here we are, giving the universe a new, more refined energy to mingle and interact with. And I'm getting the Three of Cups here, like some sort of celebration. A celebration of the return of something, a celebration of your return. Yeah, in the last energy report, the collective's frequency was like cloaked or veiled by the moon. This came out in the tarot card reading, and the universe was having trouble finding or identifying the collective. So this Three of Cups feels like you've done some alchemy, right? You've done some emotional alchemy, released attachments, and you aligned. Release attachments to align and purify your expression, and now there's some sort of celebration. I feel like this might be the breakthrough that we've been working towards, guys, but there's always polarity, right? We have dense, dark, tricky, and sticky energies in the atmosphere, both internal and external, and these energies are creating a potential. They're creating a potential for a missed opportunity, or they're creating a pathway for our energy to be misdirected. That's if we can be like distracted and led astray. Remember that we have big cosmic energies practically being launched at us like a baseball from spirit. It's like now spirit sees you, right? If your energy was cloaked before, it's not anymore, right? If you were veiled before, you're not anymore. So spirit's like, right there, she's right there, he's right there, go now, now, now. It's like you've created this open window of opportunity by aligning. Divine timing happens when our internal energies line up with cosmic energies, right? Creating the window of opportunity. And I feel like attuning your focus has created some sort of perfect alignment for you. So now the window is open and spirit is pitching you this power ball of energy. Will you catch it? Or when you catch it, right? Maybe you've already caught it. When you catch it, what will you do with it? How will you direct this energy? We're going to get into the details of this astrology. We're going to break it down, and we're also going to do a tarot card reading for more messages, more guidance, and clarity. But let's start with an aspect that I feel like is one of the biggest opportunities in all of this. So we've got Vertex and Uranus and Gemini trining the sun. I feel like this is a big energy, and I don't really see a lot of people talking about it. Vertex is a destiny activation point. It's that destiny activation point that I mentioned earlier, and we all have this point in our birth charts, you guys. If you want to know what this energy might be activating for you, like on a more personal level, check your natal chart, because it's there. It'll show you, like, right here, this, focus here, right? And you can also reach out to me for a birth chart interpretation if you feel like you need help. I also do that, you know. So when we have vertex energy, or When vertex energy is triggered, it activates a new level or a new chapter or a new cycle of our lives. So we have vertex with Uranus trining the sun. Uranus is radical reorientation. I talked about Uranus a lot in the last report. Uranus brings the magic or the divine intervention that shifts our reality to reflect a higher plan. Uranus's manifestations are usually outside of our control. It's like, boom, something happens and things are no longer the same. And there's polarity to this, right? So a higher expression of this energy can be like receiving a crazy opportunity and then boom, your life is suddenly changed. A lower expression of this energy could be like getting fired from a job or evicted from your home, but then it turns out that you were fired or evicted because your energy was supposed to be in some other place, right? So it turns out to be a good thing anyway. So there's a silver lining with this Uranian energy, but the transition may not always feel comfortable. So these two energies, Vertex and Uranus, are conjoined or very close together. They're cooking, you guys. They're hyping each other up. They're mixing and blending energies, and they're creating a new potent dynamic that can be harnessed and used for powerful change. This is like magician energy. The magician is the alchemist, right? He harnesses spiritual energy. The energy passes through his vessel, his body, and then it's expressed outward, and it creates tangible things, right? Tangible results, manifestations, magic. So this is the baseball of energy that Spirit is pitching. This mixture of energies between Vertex and Uranus is making a trine to the sun, and a trine is a harmonious aspect. The sun is the amplifier, you guys. The sun is fueling and charging up this cocktail of transformative energy. Traditionally, the sun is the self, the personality, and the outward expression, right? It's the version of us that everyone sees first, but esoterically, the sun mirrors the moon. The sun is the outward revelation of our internal world. You know how they say our external reality is a reflection or a mirror of our internal world. That's the moon and the sun dynamic working together. So I'm feeling like if we're able to align with this energy to receive and integrate it, these energies of Vertex and Uranus together, right? Those energies will be expressed or revealed outwardly through our sun. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, if your sun is in Virgo, then this energy is going to manifest as like a Queen of Pentacles energy for you. Irrespective of gender, you could be male and embody Queen of Pentacles energy as well. Queen of Pentacles energy is just it's like wisdom and experience. Queen of Pentacles is initiated, right? She's mature, she's ascended through all of the levels. She knows the lay of the land, right? She knows how to ascend the mountain. She's an expert. She's got good sense. She's balanced, she's got clear vision, steady aim, she's determined, and she has this ability, like this special ability to transform ideas and inspiration into pentacles, right? Material abundance. So this energy is most likely going to manifest uniquely for all of us, right? It's going to manifest and be expressed in a way that's personal and unique for us. If you want to know where this energy might be manifesting for you, check your sun sign. So Vertex and Uranus trining the sun, it's creating like an offering. I feel like it's an offering on a platter of big transformative energy for us to work with, right? Vertex activations can also trigger like major turning points in our lives, or like a reversal of the wheel. And what that means is it's like a transfer of energies from the lower chakras into higher chakras. So we've completed a major cycle and we've graduated or ascended from lower dimensions or lower chakra experiences, and now we're moving into higher densities, higher chakras, and higher chakra experiences. And let me tell you, like, higher chakra experiences, there's going to be less conflict, there's going to be less like competition and fighting and discomfort triggering. It's dharma, right? Higher chakra energies are dharma, everything moving in natural order, right? Lower chakra experiences are a different story. The lower chakras are where those uncomfortable and painful experiences exist. Before we alchemize and integrate them, the lower chakras serve as like a battlefield or a training ground for our spiritual development. So we learn a lot of hard lessons in the lower chakras, but these lessons push us to grow, ascend, and evolve. We wouldn't grow, ascend, or evolve if there wasn't any friction and discomfort, right? We would just stay the same. But the friction and discomfort, they push us to want more for ourselves, more experiences that don't feel terrible. Think about the root chakra, and I'm not saying that the root chakra is terrible, but it's our first chakra, it's our primal nature, it's our survival instincts, right? So in this dimension, we learn how to survive and take care of ourselves in the wild, wild world, right? We learn to defend ourselves from those who might seek to dominate, control, and oppress us. This is where all of those experiences come in, where there's lots of jealousy and fighting and like crabs in a barrel and just chaos, right? But it forces us to learn to stand up for ourselves and what we value. The root chakra is also where our initial values and beliefs are established, but in the root chakra, those values, beliefs, and the traditions that we uphold, they may not even belong to us. They may be energies that we absorb, and adopt as our own, but they come from the people around us, like in our formative years. The root chakra is like the storehouse for all of our foundational stuff and the lessons that we have to integrate for graduation out of these lower densities are temperance, personal power, and true identity, right? So it's like finding your true self, releasing the aspects of you that are not yours, establishing and stabilizing your true identity, and then leading with that. And then once that happens, it's like boom, vertex, right? A new chapter, a new cycle is activated. Now you don't need those lower density experiences to learn, right? You don't need to learn from conflict, chaos, and competition, fighting, survival. You don't need to learn that anymore. So our energy ascends out of the lower dimensions and lower dimensional experiences that helped us, right? I don't want to like shit on those experiences because they're necessary. They help us train and grow and develop and prepare for new higher dimensional experiences. So in these higher dimensional experiences, that's where we get to embody and utilize all the wisdom and resources we gathered from a previous cycle. So vertex is a significant turning point, and having this energy conjunct Uranus, the planet of like radical reorientation, is just crazy to me. I talked about Uranus a lot in the last report. Uranus is the planet that shakes things up. Uranus shakes things loose. It reorganizes our plans. Uranus will completely derail your train, all to reflect our choices, right? And to reveal our true essence. Going back to that reference of our external world being a reflection or a mirror for our internal world, Uranus is the one who moves all the pieces around to make sure that that's true, right? Uranus is electricity and like lightning strikes, right? It's like a bolt of lightning. He doesn't follow the rules and he doesn't care about our plans. Uranus will flip our lives upside down so that a divine plan can manifest, right? So with Vertex and Uranus conjoined, perfectly aligned, communicating easily and harmoniously with the sun, it's creating what I feel like is a significant manifestation portal. There's a manifestation portal activating, activating. But we're challenged by a few things here. We're challenged by Mercury in opposition to Chiron, and then there's a huge potential for us to get distracted or dragged down by our mood energies. Those subconscious emotional patterns might lead us down a different path, distract us away from what's going on with Vertex and Uranus, right? So let's get into the next aspect. We have the moon in Aquarius. Let's start here because this is one of our major liabilities as we move through this energy, so we want to keep a close eye on it. The current moon is a waxing gibbous moon, and at this phase we've made it over the hump, right? The last energy report was all about navigating the hump, right? Navigating the bridge. So we've made it through the crisis phase of our manifestation cycle. The crisis phase is where we're panicked and we just abandon ship, right? We've made it over that hump, that significant hump. Now we're more than 50% to fullness, illumination, and completion of this particular cycle. But we're not there yet, right? So as we approach fullness and completion, now is a perfect time to adjust, right? Make those last minute adjustments, refine, tighten your alignment, your focus, tighten your focus, perfect your aim, analyze the details, and prepare yourself for optimal breakthrough, right? Which is going to be the full moon in Aries, breakthrough of the refined self. So when the moon is in Aquarius, Aquarius's energy can get weighed down, dragged down into these lower dimensions, and even distorted by our moon energies. Remember that our moon is an energetic storehouse. The moon is our internal yin realm, right? It connects us to spirit, and it holds our mental and emotional energies, our memories, our feelings, and our emotional responses, right? Those instinctual emotional responses to external triggers. It's like when we get scared and run away just without thinking. Those energies are stored in the moon. The moon is also the bridge that our manifestations have to cross over to reach the sun for revelation, right? So if our moon energies are unmonitored, then our manifestations and aspirations get drowned. They get drowned out before they can be expressed, or they're expressed, but they're expressed through the distortions of the moon. So they're expressed diminished. They're expressed through fear and lack and insecurity and those subconscious energies, right? That's the moon. Let's talk about Aquarius. Aquarius is a star in the tarot. Aquarius is self-actualization. It's our highest potential, right? Aquarius is our vision for the future and our soul's deepest aspirations. Aquarius's energy is divine. It's the pure and unique, authentic aspects of ourselves. Our purest intentions that want to shine and be seen, right? Aquarian energy is eccentric because it's unique. It's a unique expression of the soul, and others may not get it. They might call it strange or try to shun it or put it down or snuff it out because it's so different. Maybe even a little out there, right? The star is out there, but Aquarius in its mature form doesn't care. Aquarius is going to express itself because Aquarius knows that its expression is true, right? You can't stop the star from shining. Aquarius is also mature air, right? The King of Swords, a highly intelligent being connected to Source through Mercury, with a unique capacity to communicate and express divine ideas. Aquarius is a visionary, and the voice of new emerging paradigms. So when the moon is in Aquarius, those sneaky subconscious moon energies can replace our aspirations, our clarity and intelligence, and our hope, right? All of our Aquarian aspects. The moon replaces those energies with fear and insecurity and feeling like insufficient. It's going to be the shadow side of Aquarian energy. Maybe like wanting to hide or not be seen. So our natural intellectual qualities are clouded by the moon, which can manifest as like illusion in the mind or a mind that plays tricks on us. There's a potential for us to get swept away in the moon's energy, or worse, right? Completely robbed of our vision and our potential. So we want to pay attention to what's going on with the moon, our moon. Pay attention to what's going on with your moon energies, how you're reacting, how you're emotionally reacting to external triggers. Awareness is key. That way, when confusion or pessimism does come up, or if it comes up, you can recognize it and alchemize it before they lead you astray. It's like, oh, that's just my insecurity, or, oh, that's just my moon, right? So at this stage of our manifestation cycle, the work isn't done yet, right? We navigate and overcome this particular lesson of the moon, by identifying and confronting self-deception. And then we reconnect with Aquarius, right? Or we clear the path for Aquarian energy. We clear the moon for Aquarian energy to pass through, to move through freely. And one more thing about moon in Aquarius. In the tarot, the moon in Aquarius is the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords talks about like a weakened or diminished sense of character, clouded judgment. It's like illusions and deception, poor expression and communication. It's like a lack of clarity and direction. Doubt and distraction is the card where it looks like a thief is sneaking away with 7 swords, but the thief in the Seven of Swords are our subconscious energies. It doesn't have to be anyone outside of you, right? It's our subconscious energy sneaking away with our clarity, sneaking away with our intellect, right? Our hope, right? So going with this flow of energy, this Seven of Swords energy, it can land us in mental jail, which is just like a prison of the mind where we feel trapped in the moon, right? Limitations, fear, and confusion. But there's an opportunity for graduation here, ascension, and we graduate by consciously guiding ourselves, guiding our energy through the moon into the sun, into a higher expression. Instead of getting trapped in the moon, we move through the moon, we navigate the moon. There are rewards for working with this energy intentionally and maturely, right? Internal rewards and achievements that will reflect and project out into your reality. And we have Vertex and Uranus here ensuring that, right? So let's get into the next aspect. We have Mercury and Libra opposite Chiron and Aries. This is a challenging one. Mercury, let's start here with Mercury. Mercury is a 4th ray planet, which talks about beauty and harmony through conflict. Mercury is the highest form of intelligence. It's a well of higher wisdom, and we tap into this well to receive data and information from source or our higher selves, right? And once we receive this information, we use it to navigate and move gracefully through the chaos, the conflict, and confusion of the wild, wild world. Mercury is like the phone in the Matrix that Neo uses to connect with Morpheus. In that movie, that connection, or like a clear connection, is crucial for Neo's survival. So Mercury in Libra is sending us thoughts, ideas, and communication to help us align or to guide us towards Libra, which is justice, right? Libra is justice. Justice is the universal act of karmic balancing with respect to our choices. So again, there are positive outcomes when we take actions aligned with truth, authenticity, and higher wisdom. Libra rules the holistic principle of partnerships and seeks to find the right balance, right? Libra focuses on a balance of duality, like masculine and feminine, internal and external, mind and heart, shadow and light, yada yada yada, right? Libra asks, is this the right fit? Is this partnership balanced, fair, and just? Libra weighs everything up and makes the choices that establish or re-establish balance, harmony, and justice. So, your higher self is trying to get you some information that will create a karmic adjustment, but we have Chiron in opposition to this. I think I talked about Chiron a little bit in the last report as well. Chiron represents our soul's deepest wound. It's like our Achilles heel. It's a significant point of weakness and vulnerability for us. We never fully heal this wound. We carry it with us through lifetimes, and we work with it by becoming more and more aware of it, right? But Chiron can be a major liability if we are unaware. If we're not aware of how we react and respond when this wound is triggered, Chiron can become our downfall or like the cause of our demise, right? Chiron is retrograde in Aries right now, and when a planet is retrograde, it sends us on an internal journey of self-exploration. So we're exploring the wounded aspects of ourselves on a deep, personal, and intimate level, which can be like both triggering and empowering. We need the triggers. We need the triggers in the test to reveal our weak points. When Chiron stations direct in a few months, we'll have grown and matured on such a deep level, and we'll get to carry all of that wisdom and experience forward with Aries into a brand new cycle. So higher wisdom from Mercury is being opposed by a deep wound. This new information from Mercury may be bringing up old fears and insecurities that make you feel hesitant or uncertain. Maybe you've received and integrated this new action plan from Mercury, but now... oh my goodness. I'm getting like the agents are active. I'm getting like you receiving this new action plan and integrate it, and then like turning to move in that direction, it activates the agents. So now you have the matrix fighting against you. You have all of these old karmic contracts opposing your movement in this new direction. This can manifest as like external interference and like sabotage attempts. This could be a face-off between old emotional programming and revelation, right? Remember, we have Uranus and Vertex trining the sun, so something new wants to be revealed and expressed through your sun. I feel like the key here is an emotional release, like cleansing, purging, purifying, realigning. Detaching from the false self, or not detaching from the false self, ascending your Chiron energy into this new beginning. And in the last report, I talked a lot about how we can reparent and ascend the wounded aspects of ourselves. So for the sake of time, I won't get into that here. Let's move into the next aspect. Some energies that we have supporting us. Let's see. We have the Sun in Libra trining Uranus in Vertex. I talked about that. We can work with that energy by aligning with it, right? Turning to face it, or like turning away from the distractions of the moon and the wound. Turning to face this energy is gonna result in some sort of like lightning strike of energy being sent your way. You have to turn to align with it. Another aspect that supports us is Jupiter in Cancer trining Saturn retrograde in Pisces. Let's start with Jupiter. Jupiter is the wheel of fortune. Jupiter represents completion, fulfillment, and the results of our efforts, right? It's a change, it's a course correction, and like unexpected opportunities. Jupiter is very generous and giving and good doing. Jupiter wants the best for us. Jupiter wants to bless, expand, and evolve us, right? So in Cancer, Jupiter in Cancer, when in Cancer, Jupiter is focusing on our emotional foundations and our internal realm, because Cancer is governed by the moon. So Jupiter is blessing our moon energies. This can manifest as feeling nurtured, supported, and loved as you move through this phase, as you move into a new cycle of life. This could also be you cultivating a new emotional foundation rooted in self-love. Remember how we talked about the root chakra energy earlier? This could be like replacing those chaotic, uncomfortable, and painful lower chakra energies with more like tempered, mature, and nurturing energies. Cancer also talks about letting your best qualities radiate outward, right? So this could be like Jupiter charging up your frequency, making it big and shiny so that it can't be missed or misinterpreted, right? An outward manifestation of Jupiter in Cancer can look like maybe moving into a new home or building a new home, or even being like gifted or blessed with a new home, and then filling every room of that home up with like love, compassion, and appreciation. So it's like cultivating a stable, loving, and peaceful environment that you get to call home. So Jupiter and Cancer are trining. Remember that a trine is a positive, harmonious aspect. They're trining Saturn and Pisces. Let's talk about Saturn. Saturn is like discipline, structure, and commitment. Saturn is the Lord of karma and the keeper of time. Saturn rules over our timelines. Saturn delivers us the hard lessons and tests that we have to pass in order to graduate, right? So Saturn being retrograde in Pisces feels like there's some sort of old test or an old karmic lesson or a lower dimensional experience or timeline that's being dissolved and washed away in Piscean energy. Maybe even purified by Pisces' capacity for deep love, understanding, and compassion. Pisces is Christ consciousness. Maybe it's like we graduate the lesson by finally accepting it as a rite of passage, releasing any hard feelings connected to it, and integrating the wisdom that we gained from it. Could be. So Saturn retrograde in Pisces feels like the end or the completion of an old cycle. Pisces is the last sign in the zodiac, so when Saturn stations direct in November, which is next month, we'll be preparing to begin like a new big lesson or a new big test or a new big commitment as Saturn makes its way into Aries, the first sign of the zodiac. This energy is supporting us because the influence of Jupiter in Cancer is outweighing or overshadowing Saturn's dominant and oppressive qualities. Saturn is like kind of at a disadvantage while retrograding in Pisces. He's slipping and grasping, and no disrespect to Saturn, but there's no structure here. So if you felt like an old timeline or an old karmic experience has had you in like a chokehold, the good news is this energy is fading away and losing its grip. Even more good news is that Jupiter in Cancer is cooking up something big and beautiful to replace what's being lost or released with Saturn in Pisces. So this is the astrology as we move into the weekend, you guys. I'll be back here on Sunday with a collective reading where I'll be just kind of peeking into the energies of the full moon that we're having on Monday. But as for now, let's get into some tarot. I think I'm going to start with some oracle cards to see if we can get any more messages to confirm, clarify, or add more color to this report. So we're going to start with the Oracle of the Sacred Soul, and then we'll just go from there. Spirit, what messages do you have for the collective? we've got the star, guys. It's Aquarian energy. In this deck, the star is called hope. So, like, keep the hope, keep the faith. Or I feel like this hope energy, this faith energy is what's going to guide us, right? Guide us through the moon energies. It's like the silver lining. It's the thread, right? The star also talks about like North Node energy, aligning with your North Node and just moving in that direction, one step at a time. We've got ground, hold your center at the bottom of the deck. This feels like lock in, right? Lock in. I'm getting mercurial energy, right? Beauty and harmony through conflict and chaos. So like moving gracefully and harmoniously through the conflict, through the chaos, following your star, your North Node, to your destination, right? The star is guiding you. Anything else, Spirit? We've got target, bullseye, hit your target, letter, new information, the Queen of Earth, the Queen of Pentacles, and the angel realm, divinity and higher wisdom. Okay. So hit your target is kind of self-explanatory, right? This is the target. The star is the target. Bullseye talks about alignment as well. Being aligned, perfectly aligned. Sagittarian energy, like steadying your aim before you release your arrow. We've got letter, new information. This could be communication from your higher self, right? That mercurial energy trying to reach you. Maybe it's like align with this energy to receive it. Queen of Earth feels like graduation energy to me. The Queen of Earth talks about finally making it to the top of the mountain, right? But she's the queen. She's internal. She's yin. So she's not taking action. She's just integrating all of her progress, right? She's integrating all of her hard work. And then we've got the angel realm, which is divinity and higher wisdom. The Queen of Earth does hold this higher wisdom, right? She holds the experience, the expertise, the know-how. A lot of people go to the Queen of Earth for advice on how to manifest and create material, tangible things. I'm going to put these cards back, right? Let's just do one at a time. Tell me about the star. We've got declare, speak up. That's the microphone. The microphone also talks about expression, right? Speaking up, speaking your truth, or maybe it's like letting these Aquarian energies be expressed. We've got prison, restriction and limitation, alchemy. Okay, so we did talk about the Seven of Swords, right? Aquarian energy being expressed through lower densities or lower dimensions. It's going to be like confusion and feeling trapped in a prison of limitation, insecurity, and fear, right? So I feel like we've got the Magician here, which is alchemical magic in this deck. I feel like maybe there is still some alchemy that we want to do, right? Maybe our expression, our microphone, or maybe this is the phone that I mentioned earlier, the phone that Neo connects with Morpheus through. So maybe we want to do some alchemy to purify our expression, free our expression. We have death here, purification, purify our expression, alchemize our expression, our signal. We've got the Five of Swords here, mental conflict. Maybe you're like going back and forth, like, should I do this or should I not? Should I take this leap or should I not? Should I express myself in this way or not? That's Libra energy. Like weighing up your choices, weighing up your options, and then finally making a decision. Tell me about declare. Speak up. This could also be Aquarian energy, right? Making it through the limitations and restrictions of our moon energy and finally being expressed through us, right? We've got home, the foundation. This is Cancerian energy. Building a stable, solid foundation. This could be internal or external, right? Internal or external. We've got the Wicked Warlock at the bottom of the deck. These are dark and deceptive subconscious energies. And then I see the scales peeking out, karmic adjustments. So there may still be some of these energies, these dark and deceptive, tricky energies that were adopted in our early formative years in our foundation, right? These energies are in our foundation. I see surrender here, sacrifice. Spirit wants us to release these energies, sacrifice these energies. It's going to create some sort of adjustment, a karmic adjustment. I'm also seeing the Tower, liberation. This is Mars energy. It's like purification through fire. It's like tough love. Mars strikes the Tower to liberate the spirit or liberate the trapped consciousness. I'm feeling like there may still be some of these energies within our foundation, right? Don't panic. We've passed the panic or the crisis phase of our manifestation process. Now it's just a time for making those adjustments, adjusting our frequency, tightening our alignment, releasing what needs to be released, right? It's going to be these dark and deceptive energies in our emotional foundation, stored within our emotional foundation. We've got the baby here and surrender. The baby is like these energies were maybe projected onto us or just like observed and adopted in our early development, our formative years. Spirit wants us to let it go. Let it go. That's going to create some sort of change here. Change, balance, justice. We got the King of Water as well, and activation, right? The King of Water is emotional mastery, finally, right? The King of Water is the master of his emotional realm. So I feel like making this choice, making these tweaks, making these adjustments, it's going to activate a soul integration. It's where you master your emotional realm, and just like we talked about before, vertex, right? Now you ascend. Now you ascend out of these lower density experiences. Anything else, Spirit? We've got the Empress. The Empress is divine feminine energy. She's Venusian energy. She's like a mother of creation. She's the doorway that all of our manifestations have to pass through before they reach the material realm, right? She's like a gateway from spirit into the material realm. What about her? The Empress, or divine feminine energy, right? She encourages us to follow our hearts, lead with our hearts, because our hearts are the GPS for our soul's desires, right? The heart is going to lead you to soul fulfillment. We've got clear-headed. Okay. So maybe it's like following your heart down this path. A path that's going to lead to the Isle of the Blessed. The Isle of the Blessed is a timeline that feels like heaven on earth, right? It's a reward for all of your hard work, all of your sacrifices. Okay, maybe this is that Cancerian and Jupiter energy. Remember, like, Cancer, or Jupiter in Cancer, is replacing what's being lost. So, well, the way there is to follow our divine feminine energy, right? Let our divine feminine energy lead us down this pathway to wish fulfillment, whatever it is for you, right? It's going to be different for all of us. We've got acceptance, letting go. This card talks about releasing a fantasy of false happiness, or releasing a comfort zone, moving away from a comfort zone to explore something that is more fulfilling, right? Divine feminine, I put her back. Okay, let's do one more. One more. We've got the Phoenix. This is so cool. Resurrection. Rising from the ashes. The Phoenix talks about, this card talks about the time that the Phoenix spends in the shadow and ash, right? It has to confront itself. It has to identify those internal challenges and liabilities. It has to move through lots of illusion and self-deception if it wishes to rise and ascend. It has to make its way through the forest or through the underworld in order to ascend powerfully, right? And then we have manifest. Manifest, work your magic. This card talks about like divine timing, like optimal, like a perfect time for manifesting and creating. There's a window of opportunity opening, or this window of opportunity is open. We've got download, spiritual insight. So it's like reaching, co-creating with spirit, right? We are reaching or ascending our frequency, and spirit is delivering, downloading something, and it's going to create something big. Something big. Something to do with our vision. That's also Aquarian energy. Our soul's highest aspirations, our vision for the future. Let's do a couple of these cards. Anything else we need to know, Spirit? What else? Dead end, a pointless pursuit. It says this situation is going nowhere. Continuing with the current course of action does not guarantee progress or improvement. It may be beneficial to cut your losses and explore a new direction. Redirect your energy, abort mission, reevaluate, walk away from something. Walk away from what? We've got guarded, cautious, and careful at the bottom. Someone may be reluctant to express their true feelings because of past wounds, fear of rejection, or feelings of shame. This is Aquarian energy in the shadow, right? It's the star in the shadow. The star shines. The star in the shadow wants to stay hidden. It doesn't express, it doesn't communicate. The star in the shadow is hesitant, it's restrained, it's defensive, it's overly protective, and it's slow to trust. So I feel like maybe this is what Spirit wants us to release. Continuing with this course of action does not guarantee progress or improvement. So cut your ties, cut your losses, and then move in a new direction. The new direction may be this energy: bird, elevated perspective, higher ground, elevating your perspective, ascending your Aquarian energy out of the moon, right? Guiding your Aquarian energy out of the moon. Anything else? Okay, we've got two. Path, evolution of the soul. It says the path is a unique and individualized journey or direction that leads us to our destiny, fate, self-actualization, north node, purpose, fulfillment. That's the star, right? This is the path that Spirit wants us to take. Okay, we've got rank, status, and authority. Someone is held in high honor. This could be you graduating, ascending, rising in rank, moving out of those lower chakra experiences into higher chakra experiences. And then we have victory lap, attainment of success. So maybe ascending is the way, right? Ascending is the key to success. It says, despite the odds being stacked against you, you have successfully achieved a significant goal. Take a moment to celebrate your victory. We've got triumph, perseverance, and celebration. We did get some celebration energy in the energy report, didn't we? Maybe you've done this. Maybe you've closed out this energy. We've got toxic codependency. The crutch represents excessive dependence on someone or something for support, stability, or comfort. Crutch is giving like comfort zone. Comfort zone, overly dependent or excessively dependent on your comfort zone, what's familiar to you. Or it could be like just flowing with those like dense moon energies because it's the path of least resistance, right? It's a well carved out path for your energy to move through, but it's a crutch. We've got heartache, mental anguish, and water, skillful navigation. I was saying, like, maybe you've done this. Maybe you've redirected your energy away from this dead end. If you haven't, now is an opportunity to do so, right? We're in a waxing gibbous moon phase, so now is the perfect time to make those last minute adjustments. So if you haven't done this, the path, the way forward is to turn away from Aquarius in the shadow, right? Feeling guarded, not wanting to be seen, not wanting to express or speak up. That's going to ascend you, right? With rank and victory. That's going to ascend you and lead you, guide you towards victory. All right, I'm going to leave it here, you guys. Like I said, I'll be back here on Sunday with just like a more thorough, in-depth, collective reading. Yeah, thank you guys for sticking it out with me if you're still here. This is a little new for me. Doing these energy reports, it's pushing me to my limits. It's like causing me to stretch. It takes a lot of energy to do this, like a lot of research and then recording and editing. I feel like I haven't really had much rest, but I don't see it as a negative thing. I see it as a positive thing. It's stretching me in a new direction, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. But I'll see you guys on the next one, okay? Thank you all so much for being here. Please like the video for the algorithm. Leave a comment if you feel like it, I guess. And I'll see you all in the next one.